Hare Krishna. Welcome to the third day. We will be visiting Harihar Kshetra, Suvarnavihar and Nrisimha. So these are the places of Godrum. Then in Madhyadwip, we will be visiting Naimisaranya, Hamsavahan, and then we will end the Parikrama by visiting Pushkar Tirtha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna. So we are in Godrum Dvip right now in Harihar Kshetra. We will be hearing the glories of Harihar Kshetra from His Grace Janani Vas Prabhu, but before we hear from him, we will take darshan of Harihar, then we will be going down and sprinkling the water of Gandaki river. Hare Krishna.
Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. So there's two rivers that are residing here, Alakananda and Gandaki river. Just like in Mayapur. So this side of the Ganga is Ganga. That side of the Ganga is Yamuna. So it's two rivers residing in same place. So one side is Alakananda, one side is Gandaki. Alakananda Purva Bhage, that's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. Purva Bhage means on the eastern side. So on this side of the temple is Gandaki, I guess on the other side is Alakananda. But it's two different personalities. Just like in Panchaveni, 5 rivers in one place.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram. So in the Nabadwip Mahatmya, Lord Nityananda Prabhu was explaining to Jiva Goswami when they arrived here at this place, Harihara Kshetra. He said, in the future, so beautiful deities will be found. They'll be discovered in a lovely forest. So at that time, deity wasn't there, 500 years ago more. Later on, there was one, Krishna Chandra Rai. He actually established the deity with the understanding of that Krishna and Lord Shiva are non-different. Lord Shiva is an incarnation of Krishna. So, because of this arguments always going on between Vaishnavas and the Shaktas, he wanted to settle the matter up. So he made the beautiful deity of Harihara, who is half white and half black. So that was over 300 years ago that this deity was established in a lovely forest. Now you can see the beauty of the Godrum Deep on the bank of the Alakananda, and it's a beautiful forest. So that was described by Nityananda Prabhu. Anyway, the deity has a plaque on it. It's written, and it's in the stone, I think. Anyway, it's written there, plaque, about how this deity has been established here to show the Shiva and Krishna. They're avatars. Krishna is the avatari, he's the source of all avatars. But there's no difference, we shouldn't make that discrimination. In the Narad Purana, it said that he's given a description of the five forms of Radha. Radha, Durga, Saraswati, Savitri, and then he says from Krishna, he split himself into two, and the left half was Mahadev Shiva, and the right half was the Lord of the cowherd lasses. So we all know the Lord of the cowherd lasses is Krishna. So that's Krishna, the deity is Krishna. Although he has the symbols of Narayan. So this pastime appears to come from Krishna manifested, Mahadev from the right side. And 8 years ago, something like that, the deity was stolen. It's a semi-precious stone. What they test gold on, from seeing the quality of the gold, it was made of that stone. So it's just like a semi-precious stone, but somehow or another it got stolen. The deity was stolen, and they couldn't find it. Then after some time, some kids were playing around there, and they saw that there was one fox, and he was behaving very strangely, and he was jumping up and in the air, and he would run over that side and run that way. And the kids, naturally, they was curious, why is a fox like he is? Daytime, the fox is not used to come out so much. So they began to chase him, and the fox, he ran away. And he went into one forest, and they chased him in there, and then he ran into another forest. He was running around different places. They were following, and then suddenly they couldn't find him anymore. And then they looked around, they saw him in one of the bushes there. Harihara was there, he'd been hidden there. Because it was stolen property, the deity went to the police station. He wasn't in the jail, but he was in the office where you go to the police station. The office. Harihara was there in the police station with a name tag. Stolen property, a name tag on his arm. So we went there with Mahanidhi Swami, I think, Gauranga Prem Swami, Shubhag Swami, other devotees. And because the deity wasn't practically getting any food there, they said someone gives some sweets now and again. The police were they said, we feel bad because we have to keep the deity here. So anyway, so we bought some sweets, and Misty Day and all kinds of sweets for Harihara. And then we had a kind of his disciple chanting like Krishna's mantras, Bruce Shuktam, the disciple chanted the Shiva's Shakta mantras, and we went backwards and forwards with these different mantras, Krishna and Shiva. Anyway, the police said, no, you please, you inform, we don't want to keep him here. You inform the police chief. So he was informed, and he said, okay. But the police said, you make sure everything is locked very securely, and then you can take the deity back. So then we took the deity back, and we had a nice Abhishek and festive ceremony of Harihara. So that the very nice deity. That place is known as Mahagaya. It's one different from the original Gaya. Or this is the original Gaya. It expands into the Gaya, which is famous for doing Pindadan, Shraddha ceremonies in Gaya. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also went to show the example as a Brahmana that he should do Pinda for his father. So that place is not different from Mahagaya. And there's a footprint there in the temple, you can also see, on a stone. And it said Gadadhar, but this is not Gadadhar of the Panch Tattva. This is Gadadhar, Vishnu Gadadhar. He's the famous deity there in Gaya, Mahagaya, in Gaya. So this place is Mahagaya. People still do their ceremonies here, Shraddha ceremonies. So it's very fortunate for the people who die in that area there, because Lord Shiva, he comes and he chants in their ears the names of Gauranga, Gauranga, as they're leaving their body. So he's so magnanimous that all those devotees will get the sound, the vibration of Gauranga. He will shout in their ear. So he's very merciful, Lord Shiva, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes he had a vision of Lord Shiva there when he was making the Parikram. And Lord Shiva dancing, boom, 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 Jai Sachinandan, Jai Sachinandan. Have mercy to all living entities, have mercy, boom, boom, is his cry. So he's there like that, giving his mercy to all the different living entities. By my mercy, Maya will retreat, he says. By my mercy. Maya is the wife of Lord Shiva, so by his mercy, by his ordering his wife, she can retreat. No one else can order Maya, but she can. Lord Shiva can, because he's her husband. So he's very merciful in that tract of Dham known as Godrum Madhyadwip, where he has these different pastimes in different forms. Jai Sri Hari Hara Ketra Ki Jai.
Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So right now we're in Suvarnavihar in Godrum Madhyadwip. In Satya Yuga, a very powerful king ruled this area, and his name was Suvarnasena. He ruled for a long, long time. Unfortunately, even though he got very old, he was still very much desperate to increase his wealth, to increase his power, to increase his kingdom. Always anxious about how to increase his material wealth, not caring for his spiritual life. Narada Muni, being very, very compassionate towards Suvarnasena, came to his palace, which was situated here where we are sitting right now. Even though Suvarnasena was materialistic, at the same time he was actually very respectful towards devotees, towards sadhus. So when Narada Muni came, Suvarnasena was very, very respectful. He honored him, he worshipped him. Narada Muni began to preach to him explaining the temporary nature of this world, the temporary relationship that we all have with one another in this world, and the importance of human form of life, the importance of 9 process of devotional service, how everything is destroyed, all our relationship is destroyed once we leave this body. All our material, name, fame, glory, opulence, everything is destroyed. So it's important that Suvarna Sen takes up devotional service very, very seriously. Then Narad Muni began to glorify about this place, saying, "My dear Suvarna Sen, please understand, the place that you're ruling right now, in the beginning of Kali Yuga, the Supreme Personality of Godhead will appear in this very kingdom that you're ruling right now. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will appear and he will freely distribute love of Godhead without any discrimination. Please chant the name of Gauranga, because if you chant the name of Gauranga, it's very, very easy to approach Krishna. But if you don't worship Gauranga and you try to worship Krishna, it's going to be very, very difficult for you. Time is short, you're already so old. Please give up this tendency to trying to increase the material wealth. Rather, you should now totally focus, dedicate your life in chanting the name of Gauranga. 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 Narad Muni began to glorify Kali Yuga, surprisingly. Normally Kali Yuga is not really glorified in many places, but Narad Muni began to glorify the fortune of the people of this age because they will get the mercy of Gauranga. Chanting the name of Gauranga, glorifying Kali Yuga, glorifying Sriman Mahaprabhu's beauty, Narad Muni left. Suvarna Sen realized that all this time he had wasted his life. He did not want to make any more mistake. So day and night he simply wept and chanted the name of Gaura, 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 Gauranga. Day and night he was simply chanting the name of Gauranga and crying, lamenting how he had spent his life, wasted his life, but now understanding the true meaning of life, he totally dedicated himself in chanting the name of Gauranga and worshipping Gauranga. One night, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in his dream with all his associates. He saw this beautiful pastime of Mahaprabhu in Nadia. Then Mahaprabhu disappeared from the dream. When Suvarna Sen woke up, he began to cry piteously. "My Lord, you are so kind. You have given your darshan to me, but now you have disappeared again. Oh, what will I do with my life?" The way he cried, the Lord was very pleased. There was a voice in the sky saying, "My dear Suvarna Sen, please do not worry. When Mahaprabhu will appear, we will also appear again as Buddhimanta Khan. And you will play a very important role in Mahaprabhu's pastime in Nabadwip." Buddhimanta Khan felt to some extent satisfied. When Mahaprabhu appeared, Buddhimanta Khan also appeared as Buddhimanta Khan. He's a very rich man. And he actually paid for Mahaprabhu's marriage expense. The story that we just heard Actually, Nityananda Prabhu was personally telling this story to Jiva Goswami. Srivas Thakur also happened to be here. And we all know that Srivas Thakur is non different from Narada Muni. Hearing from Nityananda Prabhu about this pastime, all of them felt intense desire, intense separation from Mahaprabhu. All of them begged Mahaprabhu to appear. And in the midst of all the devotees, while the devotees are doing kirtan in this place along with Nityananda Prabhu, Srivas Thakur, Jiva Goswami and others, Mahaprabhu actually appeared in the middle of the kirtan. So everyone was able to see Srimad Mahaprabhu once again. So this is this most beautiful place. Some remnants of the palace of Suvarnavihar is still here. So we will see some of the remnant that is still here. And then we'll proceed to the next place. Alright, Hare Krishna. So as you can see, these are some of the remnants from the palace of Suvarnavihar. He lived during Satya Yuga, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur got this land. So when they were developing this land, they found these pieces here. Hare Krishna. So we are in Godrum Madhyadwip. We are in Nrisimha palli, the place of Lord Nrisimha. This place is also known as Devapalli, where the demigods also reside. After Lord Nrisimha killed Hiranyakashipu, killing the armies of Lord Nrisimha, Nrisimha wanted to rest in a very peaceful place. So the Lord came here and he rested here. All the demigods wanted to serve Lord Nrisimha where Lord Nrisimha rests. So all the demigods, they all came here, and Vishwakarma made many houses so the demigods can reside and serve Lord Nrisimha. He is the protector of the devotees, and this is the best place to come and pray to Lord Nrisimha that he may remove all the obstacles in the path of devotional service. Lord Nrisimha is very pleased with devotees who come here for protection, and he will remove all the obstacles in the path of worshipping Srimad Mahaprabhu. Nrisimha Bhagavan ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Nrisimha Bhagwan ki Jai. Another Deva Nrsimha Palli or Deva Palli. This is on the edge of the Parikram, edge of Nabadwip, Godrum. Here there is a famous Nrsimha temple, which is said to, well, there was a temple there in Satyuga of Nrsimhadev. Whether it's the same deity or not, it's obviously not the same temple. That was built later, and whether it was the same deity or not, we don't know, because it may have been established by King Krishna Chandra. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in the future one king will come and build a temple there. So that after Lord Nrsimhadev killed Hiranyakashipu, then he came here, recognizing this as his own dham, his own place. Charmed by the beauty of it, he made his residence there on a hill. It's a little hill. He's in the forest. The Nrsimha temple is always like that, in caves. In South India you'll find predominantly, not so much in North, but they're always in remote places. He seems to like a little, probably his lion nature that he likes it in the forest. So yeah, so it says that he came here, size of the Nandakini River. That's dried up now. There's a big pond there, but the river doesn't actually flow there anymore. They have on Saturday they do a special worship, Abhishek. You can see of this deity. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in the Navadip Dham Mahatmya, and Navadip Bhavataranga also, he writes how when the Nrsimhadev lived here, so many saints took residence here also. So, and demigods came and built their residences here. He said there are many big stones around, which was once their houses. Now you don't see them so much, but so the demigods. That's why it's called Deva Palli, because all the devas built. And the common people wouldn't come near there because sometimes Nrsimhadev would roar, so everyone was fearful to go to that hill. But Bhaktivinoda praised to Nrsimhadev that when will Nrsimhadev, bless me, when will he place his feet on my head, and I will fall in front of his temple, fall in front of the deity, prostrate on the ground and crying, please give your blessings. And the Nrsimhadev will say, my dear child, you sit down here happily in Nabadwip and worship Radha and Krishna. And by the mercy of my devotees, all obstacles will be removed, far away. And he said, then when my Lord Nrsimhadev place his feet on my head, I will feel great ecstasy, and I will roll on the ground in great ecstasy, receiving the blessings and the mercy of Nrsimha. But he said, by the mercy of my devotees and the holy Dharma and the holy name. So then in the Navadip Bhavataranga, Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains how he actually gets the blessings of Lord Shiva, who's the greatest Vaishnava. And then his spiritual identity is revealed to him, which is very uncommon to hear in the writings of anyone. So then he's revealed his form as a Manjari and his particular service to the Manjaris and the Gopi in Vrindavan. It's a very esoteric thing that someone will write about. You don't hear it much. So yeah, Lord Nrsimhadev is the he's our Istadeva for protection. Everyone needs protection, in Kali Yuga especially. Like in Mayapur, our Nrisimha temple is very popular. Nrisimha deity, very popular. He's also helped a lot of people. A lot of people have some interactions with him. He has cured people. One boy he cured from smallpox. That boy devotee claimed he was praying to him. Not smallpox, chickenpox. It's not a very nice disease. Usually get it when you're kids, but if you're older, you get all these big black spots. You feel terrible. You're not supposed to bathe. You're supposed to like go in isolation for 18 days because it's contagious. So he got it, and so the chowkidar in the temple said, "Don't, you shouldn't be in the temple." Gave him some Nrisimha Prasadam because he said he was there in the evening and he was praying to Nrisimha that he came from Delhi and he was studying Bhakti Shastri here. So he's saying for 3 years I've been asking to come. My parents finally let me come here. Now I've come and studying Bhakti Shastri, but now I've got this dreadful chicken pox. I'm feeling so horrible. And I have to be in isolation. I won't be able to attend the course. Gold Purnima's coming. All the big devotees will come. I won't be able to get their association. I'm really fried. Please, Lord Nrisimhadev, please do something. That night, he's taking rest, and he got up really early in the morning. He woke up really early in the morning, and he took a bath, even though it was suggested maybe he shouldn't take a bath. So he took a shower, and all the black spots washed off. He was fine. I mean, that doesn't happen with chicken pox, but he said that was a miracle that happened to him in Mayapur. And our devotees claim that the deities actually appeared before. They even one Gaudiya sannyas, he's a acharya in one mutt now. They have a Nrisimha temple also. He claims that Lord Nrisimhadev gave him darshan in his room. He said, "You're Nrisimhadev, this from Mayapur." Now the pujari, one of the first pujaris, nobody wanted to worship Nrisimhadev at first. Everyone was afraid, but it was okay after a couple of days. But one of the pujaris, he was always scared. He said, "That deity makes sounds." So one night he puts the deity to rest. He said, "I was just leaving, and I heard this sound, such a sound as my hairs were standing on end. I looked around, I saw everything was in order." So then he locked up, paid his obeisances, prayed for forgiveness, took rest. He's at the end of the night, he was sleeping in the long building. At the end of the night, he's woken up. The bed is moving. He was in a bunk bed, one up, one down. He was on top. So he thought it's the pujari underneath. He's getting up from Mangalarti. Anyway, bed is rocking. He opens his eyes and he sees Nrisimhadev on the end of the bed. So already he's scared, and now he's freaking out and he's panicking. He said, "I tried to get up, and Nrisimhadev put his hands on my shoulders. He said, it felt like the weight of the whole universe." And so he was really panicking. Nrisimhadev said, "It's okay. Stop. Be calm. Be peaceful. Don't be afraid. It's okay. Be peaceful." He said, "This is why I've come here." He said, "I don't want you like this, serving me like this in the temple." He said, "Just give up that fear. There's nothing to worry about. You just do your service in a peaceful state of mind. There's nothing to worry about, okay?" So that's all I wanted to say. And also, when you wake me up, Mangalarti, don't turn that spotlight directly in my eyes. Then he disappeared. He jumps up. He's running up and down the veranda of the long building. Everyone's, "What's happened, Baba?" He might be haunted by a ghost. He said, "Just sing it there." Anyway, he had marks on his shoulders for a number of years after that. So there's many stories of this Nrisimhadev, although he's quite near Nrisimhadev. So he's our Istadeva for protection. How he protected Prahlad from so many death threats. Nobody could kill him. Krishna Mari Raki Hai, that if Krishna wants to protect you, no one can kill you. So we worship Prabhupada gave us the worship of Nrsimhadev. He didn't establish any deities that time, but he gave us those 2 songs, 2 hymns to sing after each arati. Namaste Nrisimha, Tava Kava Kamalama Venakam. He said these are for the protection of the devotees, the spirit, the acharya, and the Sankirtan movement. We chant these. We worship Nrsimhadev. Although Nrsimhadev is an extraordinary avatar also, he has a place in Golok. We don't want to go to Nrsimhaloka, some Vaikuntha planet, but Nrsimhadev does have a place in Golok. Even in Vrindavan, you see, just down from Nandagram, they have a Nrsimha temple. Because Nanda Baba, and they used to worship Nrsimhadev to protect Krishna. So here's our... it's the day before protection. Then we don't have to bother Krishna, because he's with Radha and his gopis, and we can go to Nrsimhadev specifically for removing the obstacles, like we go to the Panchatattva, their mercy. They give their mercy very easy, shortcut, and then we can approach, Radha and Krishna. People often ask, we hear stories about Nrsimhadev, we hear stories about Jagannath. What about stories of Radha Madhava? As well, Krishna on there, he's got Radha next to him, and he's got his 8 girlfriends each side. He's not much interested in anything else. He's happy there. Nothing. We don't see much activity from him, other activity from him. So yes, a very important deity, and Bhagavatam. There are many chapters, about 7 chapters in the Nrsimhadev, a very long section. But you'll notice that most of them are about concerning Prahlad, actually. And Prahlad's instructions are really transcendental. So he's so many wonderful things he says, so many, I call them revolutionary statements that he makes. Like when you give up the endeavor for happiness, then you get happiness. That you're making all these plans for happiness that will never be, and in the end everything turns around, and because you're thinking the body is a place to receive happiness, but in the end you're let down. At the end it's just a source of trouble. At the last part, and he said, but anyone can become Krishna conscious. There's no material impediments, because he's talking to his friends. He said, even though we know we're sons of asuras, he said, and we're such a young age, we can understand. Of course, Prahlad is a special category. He heard in the womb, which indicates that the soul is actually different from the body and always transcendental. But he said, he told his friends, if you simply have faith in my words, you can also become great devotees. That's all. Even though you're children and so there's no impediment. There can be no impediment. So we can't really make any excuses not to surrender to Krishna, because it's available for everyone, even unlearned children, and he says these other kind of people. So much knowledge of Krishna consciousness we get from that, and this story of how Nrsimhadev appeared and how he killed the Hiranyakashipu. Was you cannot get greater than Hiranyakashipu. He was the greatest materialist that ever existed. He was the most successful materialist that ever existed, without doubt. Yet, because he was inimical towards his devotee or Krishna, Vishnu, just in a very short while he was all finished. So these histories are there for us. You're never going to become as powerful as him. Nowhere near, no way at all. And look what happened to him. Prahlad was a helpless boy against this most powerful person in the universe at that time. And he couldn't do anything. So when you take shelter of Krishna, you're always successful, whatever. So he appears in many forms to attract us and show us. So he's appearing in this wonderful form of half man, half lion to keep the words of Lord Brahma, his devotee, intact, and easily dismiss the most powerful demon in the universe. Jai Sri Prahlad Nrsimha Bhagavan ki jai, Devapali ki jai, Singh Bhagavan ki jai, Nabadwip Parikram ki jai, Kartik Parikram ki jai, Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari.
Svaram Sachitananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brayamanam Yashoda Biyo Lukala Davamanam Paramistanatyanta Drutya Gopya Rudanta Muhur Netra Yukmam Riyantam Karambuja Yugmena Satam Kanetram Swasakam patri rekam kakanta.
So this is Mandakini river. As I was explaining in the temple that when Lord Nrisimha decided to come here, all the demigods came and Vishwakarma built houses for the demigods on the bank of Mandakini river. So this is Mandakini river. So all the houses of the demigods was around this place. You can sprinkle some water.
Puna prematastam satta britibande Varandava moksana moksambadimba Nachanyam rine hambade sadapita Idante vapurnata gopala bala Sadame manasya virastalkyanayai
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So finally we are here in Madhyadwip in Naimisaranya. So the 7 sons of Lord Brahma, Marichi, Atri, Angira, Pulasta, Pulaha, Kratu, Vaishishta, they approached their father stating that they have heard that Sriman Mahaprabhu would appear in the beginning of Kali Yuga and that they desire to have Gauranga Prem. They want to develop love of Gauranga, love of Godhead. Upon hearing the desire of his sons, Lord Brahma was very, very pleased. He said the best way to get the mercy of Lord Gauranga is to simply go to Nabadwip Dham and just day and night simply chant the name of Gauranga. That's all, no other process. Simply go to Navadvip Dham and chant the name of Gauranga. So the 7 sons of Lord Brahma, they came here. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Kichu nahi khai, nidra nahi jai. They did not eat, they did not sleep, but day and night simply cried out the name of Lord Gauranga. Mahaprabhu, being very, very merciful to the sons of Lord Brahma, in the middle of the day, midday, Mahaprabhu appeared in front of them in this very island. Because Mahaprabhu appeared on the midday around 12 noon, therefore this island is called Madhyadwip. We are in Naimisaranya on the bank of Gomati river. Anyone who takes the dust from this place in Naimisaranya, which is situated on the bank of Gomati, simply by taking the dust and putting on your head or putting on your body, you are freed from the sinful activities that have been committed for 100 lifetimes. Such glorious is this place. Lord Shiva, the greatest of Vaishnava, heard that Sutta Goswami is residing in Naimisaranya doing Gaur Bhagavat Katha. Sukadev Goswami, we know, has spoken Srimad Bhagavatam. But Lord Shiva heard that Sutta Goswami is doing Gaur Bhagavat. The class has already begun. The discourses already has begun. And Lord Shiva somehow or other wanted to reach this place as fast as possible. But we know that his career is Nandi, the bull. And sometimes the bull may not be as fast. So he requested Lord Brahma if he could use Lord Brahma's carrier, swan. Brahma very happily agreed. Taking the swan, Lord Brahma's carrier, very quickly Lord Shiva came to this very place where we are sitting. And he heard the Gaur Bhagavat from Sutta Goswami. Upon hearing the glories of Sriman Mahaprabhu, Lord Shiva fell unconscious. All his associates surrounded Lord Shiva here and began to chant and dance the name of Lord Gauranga. So this is the same very place of Naimisaranya where Sutta Goswami recited Gaur Bhagavat. So many millions and millions of rishis were here, devotees were here. Lord Shiva came with his associates, heard Gaur Bhagavat, chanted and danced with so many devotees. Just like in Gaura Daha, we took the dust because the Lord's and the associates' dust, lotus dust is there. So in this place also, Sutta Goswami and other devotees such as Saunaka, Lord Shiva and his associates, they heard, they danced in ecstasy chanting the name of Gauranga. No doubt that in Garga Samhita it is explained simply taking the dust of this holy land, you smeared on your head, on your body, and you're freed from the sinful activities which has been performed for 100 lifetimes. Madhyadwip ki, Naimisaranya ki, Gomati river ki, Nitai, Gaura Premanande. So we'll walk down there, just a minute walk from here. We'll take the holy water of Gomati, sprinkle on our head. Please take the dust, put it on your head. Then we'll go and take darshan of Hamsavahan. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ready? Come close for water. Gomati river.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare
Hare Krishna. So right now we are in Madhyadwip in front of Hamsavahan temple. A beautiful deity is there where this amazing pastime of Lord Shiva, so eager to hear Gaur Bhagavat from Sutta Goswami, requesting Lord Brahma if we could use his carrier, the swan, to come here quickly. So in Hamsavahan, this pastime is beautifully manifested through this deity where Lord Shiva is lying down on a swan.
This is Mahadev. Is lying down. This is his head. This is his hands on his chest, and this is his whole body here. So you can see, and this is the whole Hamsa or the swan. This is one of the wings. This is the wing, and this is the snake of Mahadev. And there all other demigods and Vishnu forms are also here. So this is the whole is the Hamsavahan with Shivji in the center. Jai Hamsavahan ki Jai.
Hare Krishna. So we are still in Madhyadwip and we are in Pushkar Tirtha. Interestingly, right now is 12 o'clock, exactly 12 o'clock. Every single day in the morning and at 12 noon and in the evening, 3 sandhyas, 100 million holy places, they all gather here at this place, taking a dip, taking shelter, getting association of Pushkar in Navadvip Dham. So while we are here talking about Pushkar, please know that according to scriptures 100 million holy places are here, and therefore it is described you don't need to go to any other place when you are in Navadvip Dham. So there was a great devotee of Pushkar, his name was Diva Das. His goal of life was to travel to Pushkar, take a dip, take shelter of Pushkar. When he came to this place in Navadvip Dham, he had a dream, and in that dream the great personality told him, you don't need to go anywhere else, just be here and all your desire will be fulfilled. Getting this dream, he decided not to leave, he decided to stay here, and he stayed on till he got old. He couldn't walk anymore. Now he was walking with the stick somehow. Then he began to feel so sorry. Why did I listen to that dream? I should have just gone. Now I am old. Now I can't travel to Pushkar. What will happen to me? Like this, he was just crying and crying. Pushkar personified felt pity for this Brahmin. He appeared in the form of a Brahmana. He told Devadas, my dear Devadas, please do not worry. You will be able to take a dip at Pushkar, in Pushkar. So right in front of the Brahmin, this holy pond just appeared. And he said, this is Pushkar, you go and take a dip. He took a dip, he came out, and the very personification of Pushkar was just standing in front of him. He was so happy. He said, my Lord, this was my goal, to go and take a dip in your water. I am so fortunate and you are so kind that you have traveled all the way there, because Pushkar is in Rajasthan. That you travel all the way from there to here. You are so kind. So Pushkar said, I am sorry, you are not right. I haven't traveled from there to here. Actually, I eternally reside here, and I have expanded myself in Rajasthan, but I eternally reside here. All the holy places, all the holy rivers, they eternally reside in Mayapur, Navadvip Dham. They reside in different places in Navadvip Dham. So in this place, in Madhyadwip, Pushkar eternally resides here. Here, in Bhakti Ratnakar it says, Je kore darshan, je koroye hetabas. Anyone who comes and takes darshan of Pushkar here, or one who resides in this area, he will develop Prabhupade hoyta sudrira bisas. He will develop firm faith to the lotus feet of Krishna, Mahaprabhu, and he will never know what it is to go to hell and suffer. That means you do not have to go to hell. Je karaye adbhut sthaner kirtan. Anyone who glorifies about this place, he doesn't have to go to hell. Or to speak of one who hears attentively. In the Srimad Bhagavatam and also in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is described that simply by hearing the glories of Mahaprabhu, you develop Krishna Prem. In the Bhagavatam, Sukata Goswami says, those who speak and those who hear, they get the same benefit. So all of us are here at the right place at the right time, an extra special time, because right now is midday and all the holy places are here. They are taking a dip, they are associating with each other, talking about Mahaprabhu, talking about Krishna. So now we will go and sprinkle some water of Pushkar and get his blessings, so that we may be able to surrender our life to Sriman Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna. Pushkar Tirtha ki Gauranga.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna. To make this virtual Kartik Navadwip Mandal Parikrama available to all of you, it took a lot of effort. If you are inspired to contribute for this Kartik Navadwip Mandal Parikrama, kindly do so. The details are in the description. Thank you.